Yo, what's going on? Sean Don here with another technical analysis from Atlas Peak Performance. Here we have Justin Herbert, hammer thrower. So yeah, just get right into it. Let's just dig in. So I think he says it's like a 57-meter throw. SPR is 58.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So one more time, just kind of pulling at the high point a little bit. One of my athletes that I coach actually does this a lot, so hopefully something I can say will help you out here. Alright, so going through the winds, Justin, not bad. I think in the second wind, like first wind's fine. Second wind, I think if you kept your hands up just a little bit as the ball came around here, you just kind of drop it off, and it kind of accentuates all your problems. So if you drop it in kind of low, with this low point right over here, you're going to have a tendency, once you get to the high point, you have to kind of pull it around with your left shoulder, and I think that's kind of what causes most of your problems. So if you kept your hands up a little bit more, like right about here, if you kept your hands up, you really just want to think about pushing flat, straight across. Like imagine if you were sweeping your arm across a dinner table and wanted to knock all the plates off of it. I think if you entered in a little flatter, now I like to think that I do this. I like to think I'm entering flat. It's not always the case, but I think if you just try the cue out for a little bit, I think it might make your throw a little simpler and help with your pulling problems you have. But yeah, so push in a little flatter. You drop that ball off. Your posture is just a little, your shoulders are a little forward, your hips are just a little bit back, which is going to, once again, accentuate that sort of pulling that you have. So like here, like orbit's not that high, but your high point's just a little, maybe I'd say if the sector is 6 o'clock, that looks like about maybe like 7:30-ish. So a little early, but that's fine. Normally I'd say like cool, do your thing, because normally the low point shifts as the throw develops if you're pushing properly and working the ball. But as the ball gets to the high point, I think your tendency is to start pulling with that left side to accelerate it. And as you come in on this catch it pretty well for turn one. But then here you can see you're always kind of leading with this left shoulder throughout the whole throw. And your head's just peeking a little bit, your left side's pulling. You can see your right foot's pretty much pointing to 0 when your left foot's already going. Your right side should turn into your left. So your right foot does a good job turning up until, about there. You get it through, but it's just, you need to wait for that right side to turn into the left. Work the whole right side around that left side. And then as you come through, your high point is once again early. And it looks like you're looking down the sector, hard to tell because this video is quite small. But yeah, so looking just a little bit, and as you look to that focal point, once again, tendency is going to be to pull that left side. Step, catch this one a little later. And then same thing. Right foot doesn't turn very well. Left hip kind of sits back, and left foot opens up, and you lead with that left side. Once again, high point off to the right. And boom, a little around, so looks like you're catching the ball just before 90 in most of these turns. And same thing here. I think this is your biggest cue that you need to relax this left side and let the ball really travel out left naturally. As this left foot right here going into 4. Boom. You see it shift like a solid foot, just totally comes off the ground. Like you don't go up at all, but it just, boom, pulls off the ground. Big left side pull. Honestly, I don't know how you do that. If I did that, I would dump the hammer right away because I'd be worried about dying. But God bless your soul for hanging on to it. But yeah, so you pull it left side real bad going into 4. And once again, high point still off to the left, but that's besides the point at this point. Then you come around and you catch, and your catch on 4 is the worst catch of all the turns, which is not ideal in the least. and the most. I don't know. It's not very ideal at all. Catch it before, or I guess once again, I keep calling this 90 out here in my videos. This is 270. You catch it after 270, which is not very good, especially for turn 4. So right foot comes down about there for sure, and then it's just one giant pull. I think from what I've seen in your videos, you're a pretty strong guy. So I mean, like, I understand your tendency is to pull. And you can see your left side even comes off in the finish, which once again isn't a terrible thing. Happens to me on some of my good throws, but yeah, going through real quick one more time. Try to push in a little bit flatter. You need to think about kind of pushing with your right hand, and I think that would help a little bit more. Push with that right hip, that right foot, anything in your right side. Just think about pushing with it. You just need to calm down your left side. So as the ball comes around out here, you need to think about driving that right foot forward. And then, yeah, just relaxing out here. Work that ball with your hips. I think you're just a little bit too upper body focused. And that's what kind of causes that high point pulling, and then that left side pulling, especially going into 4. Another big thing that I just noticed is, once again, like I said, your hips are just a little bit back here. And that just kind of sets the throw up poorly. If anything, you want to have your hips underneath your shoulders. I can't quite tell from the side angle of this, but I'd guess that your shoulders are a little bit forward, your hips are a little bit back. You want to reverse that. Shoulders back, hips forward. As the ball comes to 0 every time, you want to think about kind of sitting your shoulders back to the sector, creating direction, stuff like that, stepping forward, driving the right hip forward. All things that can help out with your throw. But here, especially in this catch position, once again, hips back, shoulders a little bit forward, and I think this is what kind of creates that initial pulling. Is you got to kind of keep up with the ball, and once your hips kind of shoot out, it's hard to get that right side to start pushing, that lower body, that right hip, the right knee, the right foot. Once the hips shoot back, hard to use that side, so then you have to resort to the left upper body, which I think we all have experience with as hammer throwers. Is kind of the tendency to fall back on when you want to get the ball to accelerate. So yeah, and then just that left foot coming off the ground in 4, man, that hurts my soul. But I think you can fix it. You just gotta let the ball go out left naturally. Like I said, enter a little flatter, work the right side more, and boom. Hopefully you can break 60. I know you've been wanting it for a while. I think if you can really fix how early you catch the ball, I guess all the things that I have told you, will benefit you in the long run, which will help you catch the ball earlier, put more force on the ball, get the ball moving faster, and hopefully make the throw a little bit more simple. So yeah. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. If you want a technical analysis of your own, visit www.atlaspeakperformance.com. Go to the services and resources page and sign up. It's championship season. Don't waste any more time. Throw your farthest. Peace out.